Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm sorry I'm a little sick still.
Oh, no. Well, thank you so much for talking with me
Oh yeah,
despite
this is
being
my
sick.
first interview, so
Oh,
pretty excited and nervous.
oh, don't be nervous at all. I, gosh, like a week and a half ago, I was on this like tiny little radio station at this hour that no one was listening to it, but I was so nervous. I was just like pooping my pants all day long. I was so nervous. So I can totally understand, but don't worry. When I go to edit it, I'll chop out all of the things that make you look like you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll chop out all of the ums and the in-betweens and everything. So, okay, so if you could first start off with just telling me about yourself. Just introduce yourself and your band. And
So I'm Lexi from Palms. I'm a psychology major at the University of Oklahoma, and I've been doing music now for about 8 years. I've only been releasing music though for about 1 year. So
oh my gosh, wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Me and Frank started Palms up last February, so it's officially been 1 year.
Very cool.
Aside from that, I'm into all things that are artsy. I like painting, photography. I like digital design. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
That's great. That's the way to be. I think it helps too as an artist, especially a musician. Then you can kind of draw on all of your interests and bring it into that. And it's very inspiring. So I'm curious about the name of your band. There's so many letters. What do they mean? Like, what is tell me about
everyone
that.
thinks that Palms is an acronym. It's actually just Palms.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. Okay.
A-V. It is actually just because me and Frank are dating. We always hold hands. We thought Palms. We also just like we're really into the palm tree vibe. So just bring that in. It's kind of random though.
I think it's cute. I think it is. You guys could start like a tropical house band with it or something.
Oh yeah.
So tell me about like the split up of production between you and Frank.
So basically, we like to not have a reoccurring theme with our singles. We like to kind of venture out into the subgenres of electronic music. So we usually just wing it. We'll start off by making loops and try and make them as dynamic as we can, and then we'll add samples and really just feed off of each other's energy. Sometimes I'll have a good idea, and then sometimes Frank's the one with a good idea, and we kind of mess around with each other's drafts of the song until it's finished.
Cool.
Yeah.
It can be hard to work with another person, but I can imagine. So Frank is your boyfriend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I can imagine that it would be a lot easier to work with a boyfriend, maybe, especially if you guys get along well. And
yeah, we were dating for a while before we even decided to start making music together. We were gonna probably do solo projects, but then we just became best friends, so it just it worked out perfectly.
Oh, well, happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
You
I
too.
hope that you both have a great time today.
Yeah,
Are you doing anything?
Do you have any plans?
No. I'm very single over here, and actually it's my first Valentine's Day as an adult being single.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking it. It's really nice because I've been in relationships for a long time, so it's really nice. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
So, what are you and Frank doing? Anything?
We might see a movie. I'm not sure. Maybe go out and get something for dinner. I'm sick, so I don't know if I'm gonna go out today or not. Really.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you honestly look and sound wonderful, despite.
thank
But I
you
don't
so
know the normal Lexi, so
Oh yeah.
yeah. But
Thank you,
thank you.
though.
Yeah, thank you for talking with me despite all of that. let's see. So you've been doing music for 8 years. Does that mean, like, did you play any instruments? Do you sing?
I grew up in a family filled with a lot of classical professional musicians, so I was always exposed to many instruments, and when I was younger, I took up piano, so started piano, and it kind of turned into, I wanted to branch away from the classical and do electronic, so started using a lot of like janky old Yamaha keyboards, and slowly I started getting, I got a keytar, I got my microchord, and I was basically just doing keys throughout high school. And then when I met Frank last year at college, we started getting into MIDI instruments. So we got our MPD-32, which is what we use for production, like for all of our tracks. And then I got my APC-40, which allowed us to perform live, and my MPX-16, which is just like a portable sampler sequencer. So we're really about getting more instruments for a live set.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it makes it more interesting. With electronic music, there's that component that I think outsiders who aren't a big fan of electronic music are not a fan of, because they're like, how can you perform live? But you totally can. And
yeah, you can.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about it. Speaking of, how did you get into electronic music? Because it's kind of rare for women, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I was always about finding underground art, underground music, like through middle school, high school. And it was actually right before high school, I was on YouTube, and I saw this artist, Catacomb Kid, and he's actually one half of Odessa now. And he used to make YouTube videos when I was younger of him on his instruments, and that's how I got exposed to it and decided that was something I wanted to do. I think the thing that was like most appealing about it was that it was like finger drumming, basically.
Yeah, like, it's very true.
It's really cool.
It is, yeah. When I started getting into my gateway band was Daft Punk, and it just kind of like escalated from there. And when I started getting into it, I'm 22 now, but I was like 14, and it's kind of amazing to see how everything has changed. Like SoundCloud, I don't even know, it probably existed back then, but like I didn't know of it. I mean, it's very new, and finally now it's like very user friendly, so it's really cool. Like there's this whole community on SoundCloud, and I'm kind of amazed by it. It's so nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it seems like you're totally in the loop of all of the social media and how to put yourself out there. So do you just spend like all of your free time, because you're a student, so you must be so busy. Do you spend all your free time just doing music and researching?
A lot of the time I do, actually. I'm actually trying to minor in sound design. So I actually take up like MIDI classes on campus.
Wow. So. What a babe. You know what? I saw, so this girl, for those who are listening, she's so pretty. I was showing my sister your photos, and we saw like a comment on one of your photos that said like you and your boyfriend could be American Apparel models, and we're like, yeah, this girl is so cute. You're amazing, and you're so cool, and you do music. Oh my gosh. Frank has to like swat all the boys off, I'm sure. So let's see. Who inspires you now? Like I know that half of Odessa did before, but
right now I'm really listening to collectives and radio stations a lot of the time, just because it's like a great way to get a whole lot of new music.
Yeah. Like
in one sitting.
Yeah.
I'm the hugest fan of We Did It Collective in LA. Everyone in We Did It is just like phenomenal. I'm also a big fan of Half Bad Radio in Ritz FM. Um, just kind of listening to SoundCloud newsfeed a lot nowadays.
Yeah. I feel you there. Do you find that, like, because you're making music that you don't have as much time to listen? Like, and you're just kind of busy doing that part of it all, or?
I feel like I was just such a dedicated music, like an active listener before that I just can't stop.
Yeah.
It does kind of, I would say I spend more time composing music than listening, though, just because I'm trying to get my own music out there too. But I'm definitely like still making sure I have like at least 2 hours a day just to listen to many artists, like through SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yeah, and it helps to be able to have a lot of data that you can use on your phone plan so that you can listen while you're like driving or walking to school or doing other stuff. So that helps a lot. So have you collaborated with anyone? I know we were gonna maybe collaborate,
yes.
But have you collaborated with anyone else before?
Not really yet. Me and Frank are actually working on a mixtape we're going to release, and it's going to have 3 collab tracks with other members of Safari Collective, and then probably 3 original tracks. Safari Collective is just like the group of producers in OKC, and we all get together and play showcases together.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Cool.
We usually play at Dope Chapel.
Okay, cool. I don't know any of these places because I'm pretty new to Oklahoma. By the way, Lexi and I live like, I don't know how long the drive is, but we live pretty close.
I think it's like under an hour.
Yeah, we live like an hour away, which is really cool because we just found each other kind of randomly on SoundCloud. And yeah, here we are.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, good old Oklahoma, the state
so
that
cool here.
No one knows about. Yeah. So are you from here, by the way? Did you grow up in Oklahoma?
No, I'm from Plano, Texas.
Oh, okay.
So, I usually hung out around Dallas area growing up until I moved here last year for OU.
Oh, okay.
Start school here.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
it's very different.
Really?
Yeah. Not an urban feel at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Here.
Totally. I know. You can't really find it anywhere. Is Frank from Oklahoma then?
He's from Waco, Texas.
Oh, okay. So you're both from Texas.
Yes. We didn't know each other before college.
Oh, okay.
He had no music scene over in Waco, so
Really?
I know he really likes what we've built here and like the community that we're like surrounding ourselves around.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool. So tell me about like your online presence. How do you guys build that up? Like, what do you do to just networking or?
Networking. I like to follow all of my favorite producers on Instagram, Twitter. Like, I like to find out right when they release something or like where they'll be, what they're doing, and just in doing that, you almost get in the loop of like this like producer mindset. But as far as like on Facebook, I haven't really done anything different.
I feel like Facebook's kind of hard for it.
Yeah, like I know some people like to have their real name and then in parentheses their alias.
Yeah.
But it's kind of different when you're in a duo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. You could say like of palms. I don't know. Oh, your screen is like fade. Oh, there we go. You're back. Okay.
Okay.
Just a slight connection error. So you said that you kind of get your inspiration from like different channels and stuff like that. Is there anyone that you would like love to collaborate with in the future, like your dream collaboration, or working with someone?
anyone from We Did It, honestly, so that would have to include R.L. Grime, Shlomo, Deej, Purple, like, Arnold. A lot of male producers.
Yeah.
Honestly. They do have, I think, 1 or 2 females in that collective.
Yeah.
But
they're a dime and a dozen. I mean, the males can't find many women in it. That's why I started this. That's why it's so cool to kind of bring to surface women like you who are beautiful and talented and just kind of, I think people just by default just think that it's only men that do it, you know, especially since it's very technical, you know, because women generally don't like technical things.
Yeah, you know, I've come to see that like there are more producers in general now than ever, and with that there are more female producers now more than ever. Yeah, and I feel like music just can't be gendered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially instrumental music.
Totally.
So.
Totally.
I love seeing like all the girl producers getting together though.
I know.
Like Dot's all female collective.
I know, that's really cool. I really like that. And I think it it just gives a voice to the women in it all. And it's like, man, that's where you find a girlfriend, all you fellas. Look at all those collectives. I'm just checking to see, because I have these in my memory, the questions that I was going to ask you, but some of them slip out here and there, so I'm just checking to see if I'm missing anything. Let's see here. So you have like a very cool style. Like, tell me about that. Talk about that. Tell me what you draw your inspiration from, because you're just so cool looking and trendy and.
I guess I like to you know, I've never actually been confronted with that kind of question.
Really?
Yeah. I used to work at Urban Outfitters.
Oh,
so
that helps.
I was and I also used to make fashion videos on YouTube.
Really? You still should. You would. I can imagine people love it.
I've been debating going back. My alias on YouTube was Urban Dweller. Dweller with 3 L's.
That's cute.
If you look at the videos, it's kind of embarrassing. Aww. It's me in high school trying on different like outfits of the day.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
I think it's cool though, because there's a difference between people that consume and people that produce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even if they're kind of embarrassing, you were doing something that was creative, and you were doing something that was expressing yourself. You know, as cliche as it is to say that. So that's really cool that you did that. Let's see. So, your musical process. Sorry, this is like totally unrelated to what we were just talking about, but how, like, what inspires you to create something? Like, what's your mental process in it all?
It's more of a like emotional release. Like, it's almost like I have these drum beats and these melody patterns like cycling through my mind all the time, and it's like just kind of a nice way to express like things that you can't put in words, I guess. But I mean, for more of the like fun trappy tracks that me and Frank do, it's obviously different. Like our Compassion EP was fully just like emotional. Like, we put months into that EP, when usually it just takes like a day for us to put a track together for like a house vibe or like a club vibe. And I feel like that makes sense that they don't take as long, just because it's more fun to, like, you know what I mean? Writing a party song is just different.
Yeah, it totally is.
But in terms of mastering and everything, we use like Ableton software, and we have like a pretty jank setup right now because we don't have studio monitors. We usually master the tracks in Frank's Land Rover and use the car speakers.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Our first song ever last year was Cold Walks, and it was named that because we would leave the dorm rooms at like 4 a.m. to master tracks in his car, and they'd be freezing outside, so that's why. That's where the name comes for that first track.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable. I love that. That is, cars seriously do have like really good sound systems.
Oh yeah.
And I have some monitors here. Well, they're my brother's. But you can hear things on them, and they're pretty good monitors. But I think what it is about being in the car is you're like surrounded by it everywhere. So it makes it that much better. Yeah, that's really cool. That's so cute. I was actually going to ask you, how do you and Frank like come up with your names and everything for the songs?
For the names, we actually come up with the name after the track's finished because like it can go so many different directions, and it's a lot easier to name tracks that have vocal samples because then you can just like pick the word that the vocal sample's saying. But for more instrumental tracks like Tidal Dreams, for instance, the first one off our EP, Frank came up with that one, and that was just like, they're just kind of random.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I don't know, but there have also been times we try to name a track and it just does not fit. So like we have to like come up with a different name. So like there is some like right and wrong when it comes to
that's true. That's true. Certain tracks have kind of like a vibe that you can play off of. It is interesting because I really want to get into like producing just musical kind of things without the voice, just for the challenge of it. I was talking to Limbo, the one who did the intro, and she can actually sing, and I've stalked her a little bit, and she can actually sing pretty well too, but she chooses not to do that, which I think is kind of cool because she wants to like be able to produce something that's listenable, but you don't get that like instant gratification from the voice, you know what I mean? And it's kind of harder to do that, really. So
it is.
My props to you for doing that. That's wonderful. Good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me just ask you a couple more questions. Okay, so where can we see you? I know that you're in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I'm actually in Norman, which is right by OKC. We are going to be performing at Dope Chapel on the 27th of this month.
Okay.
And it's going to be to help out our friend Lone Moon's album release party. Cool. And we also have 2 shows coming up for Norman Music Festival. And I'm going to have to like release the exact locations for those shows later on. But also we're probably just going to be playing mixes around at friends' houses for the time being. We also have another safari showcase coming up next month at Dope Chapel.
Wow, very cool. So you're busy, very busy. Yeah. That's good. So are you guys working on anything in like music production wise?
We have probably too many unreleased singles and a couple remixes that are just kind of like on the fence. We don't know if we want to release them as a track or just like plug them into a mix. And then probably doing some guest mixes in our collab with you.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, well, cool. I think it's good to always kind of keep things going and doing something every day, you know? Even when you're busy, as long as you're doing something, one thing every day. I think it's a good rule of thumb. Let's see. I think... Oh, yeah, if you could just tell us, like, how to find you, where you are on social media, etc., etc.
You can find my band page on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/highpalms, or if you just search Palms. Instagram, Lexi Sacco. Sacco's Sacco. SoundCloud is Palms. Bandcamp is High Palms. Cloudy is Palms, and I also have a Tumblr. If anyone wants to follow that, that's Lexi Sacco. .tumblr.com. Sacco spelled like the sock you put on your foot with an O at the end. So that's how you pronounce my last name.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm like, how do I pronounce that? I'm just gonna have her introduce herself.
Yeah, Sacco.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you so much for interviewing me.
Yeah, absolutely. You did beautifully. And I'm gonna like try and edit like a madwoman today. I'm interviewing another girl actually shortly after this. And then I'll get back to you hopefully before I actually publish it. And I can kind of show you what it sounds like before, and then you can tell me if I missed anything or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, you did lovely. It was lovely meeting you. And
it was lovely meeting you.
Yes. And I would love to come out to one of your shows. That sounds like a lot of fun.
So fun.
Yeah, I would love that. So yeah, we will have to get together and figure something out.
Yeah.
And I hope you feel better. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm probably gonna get in bed.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And have a good Valentine's Day with your cute boyfriend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.